Hello, my name is Travis Warren. I'm the CEO and founder of WhippleHill, and I appreciate your time this afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I want to just, by way of kind of quick highlights here on who we are and where we fit in to this landscape. We've been around for a while, 1998. We launched our first product. We're entirely bootstrapped, started the business working specifically for the school I graduated from. We work exclusively in the private K-12 market. And I'm going to get into a little more about what the rationale is behind that and how that fits into our mission. But that's a big part of our product offering and where we think we fit into this market. The other thing is we recently in January rolled out a new product that has much broader reach than the original products we launched, and I want to tell you a little more about that today. So before we do that, I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers. I'm sure those of you who work in the K-12 space have wrestled with trying to frame the exact size of this market. And we certainly know there are big numbers, and then there's the addressable sort of subset that is really where the business gets done. Specifically, what I want to try to impress you upon is the number of schools in the private sector. So these are the schools, and 41 is probably a large number. The 41,000 would include schools with maybe 10 or 15 students that are just slightly larger than home schools. But I think this number reasonably for the product that we sell is in the 10 to 20,000 range. And these schools are populated with students and parents who have very high demands. So they've opted out of public education, they've reached into their pockets, and they're paying anywhere between $2,000 and $50,000, $60,000 a year, even $70,000, $80,000 a year in a few specific cases to send their kids to a school and hopefully get better than what they get from the public education system. So where this fits in, these parents are in a very specific demographic. They manage their stock portfolios on E-Trade. They probably are looking at buying a Tesla online and having it delivered to their home. They use Facebook, they use Mint, all of these sites. So they have very, very high expectations about what the school is going to offer them online. And currently the systems, the siloed systems, the SIS systems, the LMS systems, the donor management systems, the inquiry admission systems are all disconnected and they don't meet that need. So in addition to that, and I want to show you how the WhippleHill platform meets that need. In addition to that, though, beside these high expectations they have for the systems they use online, they also have sort of core fundamental reasons why they send their kids to private school, right? So one of them would be accountability. Maybe they're frustrated, and that's certainly a word we hear thrown around in the public sector, holding teachers accountable, holding schools accountable, and they feel like through the private end of the school spectrum, they're going to be able to hold people accountable. The other is achievement. They're obsessed with achievement. They've maybe been very successful in their own lives and being able to afford private education, and they want to see their kids be successful. So they're motivated by accountability, achievement, and then lastly, safety. Safety is a big driver for these parents as well. So if we factor all that in, we've got parents who expect a lot from the schools that they're paying money for, and they expect it to be delivered online. They expect to be able to sign up for courses, inquire, pay bills, hand in assignments, the full spectrum of things. They expect to be able to do it from their iPad, their iPhone, their Android, across all these different platforms. And today, this is what most schools are delivering them, is a big, long hyperlink list to system after system. So here's how you access our LMS. Here's how you access our SIS. Words that you shouldn't ever even need to say to a parent, right? They shouldn't have to know what an LMS is or an SIS. In the worst offenders, they're putting the passwords, they're sharing passwords, and they're putting the passwords in parentheses next to the systems. It's a train wreck. I stole this hyperlink list off a school that costs almost $40,000 a year. And this is the experience they're giving their parents. So we think there's a higher, a better answer than that. And because private schools don't have to deal with public standards, the independent school market, which is a subset of the private school market, has been called the most unregulated industry in the world. They accredit every 10 years. They can make their own changes. They have boards and presidents and heads of school who make decisions. So we go to them with a one sign-in proposition where the parents can access everything. So they can log in, they can get complete transparency into the topics, so LMS type functionality. They can get access to athletic events and videos and photos and outcomes to games. They can, again, academic content. They can manage things like, micromanage things like emergency contact numbers. So here's the order that I want to get phone calls, or they can do things like designate who's going to pick their child up today. They can mark their kids absent without calling the school. So we're really trying to provide a level of service beyond anything they get from the systems they work with today. In addition to that, students have the ability to hand in assignments. Their parents have access to this, so they can see what's due tomorrow, what's been handled. I think that's one of the things that the LMSs that were designed for higher ed miss, is the role of the parent in the LMS. In a 7th or 8th grade, I have a 7th grade daughter who's perpetually telling me her homework's done, and I want to be able to log in and get my own answers. So that's all part of the platform we built. And then on the accountability side, again, visual views into the grade book. How did you do on an assignment versus how did your other peers within the class do on the assignment? So all of this stuff is parameter driven. The schools make their own decisions about what they want parents to see and not see. A good example would be something like attendance. School in Manhattan loves the idea that a parent can get a text message when their son or daughter's marked present in first period, because they put them on the subway and send them off to school, and they get that buzz when they're marked present. So that's the way this system's configured. You can turn that on. In a boarding school in Concord, New Hampshire, parents send their kids to boarding school. They don't want to get buzzed when they're marked absent. So this level of granularity enables the school to meet the parents' expectations and complete these 3 core principles, which was the reason they chose private schools, and we think add value to the school's brand. So when the school's done, this is the reason, that this is the impression that they form of the school is formed by their experiences online. Our platform is made up of 4 products: on board, on message, on campus, and on record. This is the new products we ran out in January. We're currently, because we've been around for a while, we're currently running in 425 schools in North America. And average ticket price, anywhere between $20,000 and $40,000 a year is what the schools pay us. It's a subscription model, so it's recurring revenue. And we're here basically to get the word out about WhippleHill and look for partners, investors, or strategic companies to help us grow that number to 1,000 or 2,000 and push up the involvement that we have with the schools. Thank you.